Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your daily listening host, Matt Soroka. As always, joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Good. Doing this on a Wednesday.
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Doing it on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm glad that you have as much focus as me as what day of the week it is right now.
Yeah. This is just a crazy time of year. My schedule is all off at this point in teaching, like it always is, compared to, at the beginning of the year, we had to lay out the syllabus, what we're going to do each day. And the kids were saying, my students were saying, young adults, we're not really on the syllabus anymore, Dr. Soroka. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's the end of the – and then I was looking, okay, well, let's get back on schedule. And we only had like 6 class periods left. It's like, what? How did this happen? We're already almost at the end.
How far off are you from that syllabus? You going to get to the end?
Yeah, we're just a week off. I'll skip a couple things here at the end. I thought I had more time to make up, but that's at the end. Hey, Josh, this on Friday. I want to share. I'm trying something. I think I'm going to try it, and it's relevant to something we talk about in this podcast a lot.
All right.
And I think I'm going to try it. And I thought I did something on Friday to kind of dip my toe in to see about it. And after doing it, I realized it's going to be a lot harder than I thought. And that's the idea of I'm considering switching teams. We've been here in Georgia now going on year 3. And so I thought maybe.
Wait. What sport are you looking at?
Basketball.
Okay, I don't care about basketball.
Okay, so I was a Wizards fan. I consider myself a Wizards fan.
Yeah, but you've got no loyalty to the Wizards.
Right. Like my attachment to the Wizards goes back to the days of Juwan Howard and Chris Webber and Rod Strickland, back when they were the Bullets.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and then my interest was piqued a little bit. That was the last NBA game I went to before this weekend, was to see Michael Jordan play as a Wizard. And then and then a little bit paying attention for John Wall, but not so much. And then since then, totally checked out. So I don't have strong allegiance to the Wizards.
No. You are in the same spot we were as kids with the NFL, where we didn't have a football team.
Yeah.
So we had players.
Right.
So you're right.
I know my favorite player is Victor Wembanyama. There we go. And he's the Spurs, so he's not even with the Wizards. But I think, Josh, there's this movie that just came out called Wild Robot. I don't know if I've talked about that before.
I've seen the trailer. I haven't seen the movie yet.
I haven't seen the movie either.
But this has something to do with the Atlanta Hawks?
No, it has something to do with allegiance. The book is great. I read the first one with my kids, and then we read the second one, and we're going to read the third one.
Like a robot that takes care of a duck or something, right?
Yeah, a gosling. Because, and I saw this on the, I think it was on Radio Lab, a podcast. We're talking about how there's these critical moments when, your brain is attuned to certain things and you get these attachments or whatever.
Yeah.
And so a baby gosling, the first 2 weeks of life, whatever it's around, it'll get attached to and consider its mother.
Okay.
This is kind of a fact. And then if it can meet anyone in 3 weeks or 5 weeks and hang around them, it doesn't think anything of it. But the first 2 weeks, and that's what happens in the movie, the first 2 weeks.
It's a robot.
Yeah, the robot becomes the mother.
Okay.
But I'm worried, Josh. I thought I could very easily. The Wizards are a joke of a team. I was never a hardcore fan.
Right. They got ugly colors.
Ugly colors. The weird Wizards. I don't even know what that even means.
No.
It doesn't make sense. They'd be better off just being the basketball team. And so I did. And so I went to the Wizards Hawks game. I did wear my Juan Dixon Wizards jersey, which is the only basketball jersey I own.
That's just a nice throwback.
Yeah, and a couple people commented on the throwback, and they were like, "Who is number 3 Dixon?" Like, go deep to come with a Juan Dixon reference there. But while I was at the game and the Wizards got crushed, of course, I just kept on cheering for the Wizards. And I tried to make myself cheer for the Hawks. They got Trae Young. They're kind of a young, exciting team. And I couldn't do it.
For the Hawks?
What?
Who was Silas rooting for?
I even tried. I said, Silas, I told him, I said, going in. I said, son, we're an Orioles fan and a Ravens fan. Like, we can't change that. But if you want to be a Hawks fan, I told him, I'm okay with it. You can be a Hawks fan. I bought him a Hawks basketball. But then I asked him, like, who you rooting for? And he said the Wizards. So, but I think he can easily convert to Hawks. I'm going to try. I'm going to buy, I think the logo is cool too with the Hawks. I'm going to buy a Hawks.
That's cool.
So I'm going to try to convert.
I don't mind this move. It's very interesting that you come in with this because I just got home from dinner and this was my conversation at dinner as well. Very similar.
Oh, really?
Because
about converting?
Well, Kelly and I went out to dinner and I was sharing with her about the Tampa Bay Rays news. And I don't know if you know the latest news on Tampa Bay.
Yeah, there was a holdup in the stadium build, right?
Yeah, the county is now they approved the money and the bonds, and now they're not unleashing them. So they're not allowing them to have the money they approved. So Tampa Bay is like, well, or not Tampa Bay.
The money's on a leash somewhere, and they won't let it go.
Right. So the Rays now there's talk that the Rays might leave Tampa Bay. And this is on top of next year them having to play in the Yankees spring training park.
Steinbrenner Stadium, yeah.
Right, exactly. So it's kind of a big deal, and that led to the conversation about the Colts leaving in '83 from Baltimore, and how you and I were raised without a football team, but we were just raised that you can't cheer for the Redskins.
Right.
So it progresses to. Yeah, we talked about how we don't, because of that, growing up as a kid, I didn't have a favorite football team, but I liked Joe Montana. I liked Bo Jackson.
And Deion Sanders was my favorite player, but I would never consider myself a Cowboys fan.
Right.
Even though I had a Deion Sanders jersey in the Cowboys.
Exactly.
Cowboys, yeah.
And then it came to the hard question of if the Orioles ever left Baltimore, would you still be an Orioles fan? And I told her I couldn't answer that question. Like, my mind cannot handle that question.
Yeah.
I can't. I cannot process it.
Well, I wonder just about, and not even Baltimore leaving, but I think of Tony Kornheiser, right? I talk about how I love him so much. He's a Nats fan.
Right.
He grew up in New York as a Mets fan.
Yep.
Left after, college. So 22, 23. Went to DC and spent the rest of his life in DC. And at some point, he's converted into a Nats fan.
Yeah.
And they're in the same division.
And
at some point, when you're in a place, I think for a really long period of time, right? Doesn't that happen too?
I think it does. I think that does. I think it's impossible for you and I.
Right, because the critical moment, we are the baby goslings, and the Orioles are our robot.
Well, and they weren't just our robot. They've been there for at this point, all of our year.
For all the critical moments of our
probably
lifetime.
half of our lifetime at a minimum. If we stopped now, it's just like I live in Florida. I will never be a Floridian. Maryland is still all in me.
Yeah. Which is wild too, because I was looking at the Wizards team and I couldn't help but cheer for the Wizards. And I'm like, I don't know Kuzma. I don't know any of these players. I don't even why am I rooting for guys that I don't even know who any of these guys are? Though our first round draft pick Star looked really good. I was super impressed with him. But it's not even the players I'm attached to, right? It's just that there's something about it.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I have not watched an NBA game in years.
Have you ever even been to an NBA game?
That's a good question.
Well, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, this is Silas's first NBA game. And then I was like, I went and saw Michael Jordan when he played for the Wizards that one time. That might be my only time going to an NBA game.
Let's see. You're right. I've been to Maryland Turpin games.
Yes, a lot of college basketball.
Yeah, and I've been to the NCAA tournaments.
Yeah.
Not the championship game, but I've been to I've been to the Sweet 16.
Okay.
When the Terps were in there. Have I been to a Wizards game? Maybe not. Yeah. I've been to the Harlem Globetrotters. I've seen them.
Yeah.
And lots of high school ball.
I mean,
So-
NBA games are a pretty cool experience. I mean,
So,
they do it right with the hype. There was fire involved. Every time out, there were the half court shots or whatever. They do the entertainment right. It's not over the top, but it's really entertaining.
I went tonight for dinner. We went to Dad's favorite place. Do you know his favorite restaurant?
His favorite restaurant, Ruby Tuesday.
Close. Chili's. Chili's is his favorite
Chili's.
restaurant.
Okay, that's news to me. Okay.
Yeah, he gets the 3 for $13 or whatever, 3 for $3 or something.
He loves a good deal. He loves a good deal. He doesn't care about the quality of the food. If it's a good deal, he's there for it.
Right. Right, exactly. So anyway, I went to Chili's for dinner tonight, and the Boston Celtics game was on TV. And I have never seen a court as bright and green as their court.
Oh yeah, they're doing funky stuff with courts. Yeah.
Well, and there were and I was staring at it because I was trying to figure out, are the basketball courts now big video walls? Because things were on the court, like the shot clock was on the key.
Oh, that's TV stuff. That's what they do with the mound.
It didn't look like it. I know it's like the ads on the mound.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it didn't look like an ad on a mound. It looked like it was there in real life. Because you'll see it with football. Football's got the lines that are never there in real life. Like I've heard of people going to football games and being like, I don't see the yellow line.
The yellow line for first down and the field goal line. And for Justin Tucker right now, that field goal line has to be at the 1 yard line, or there's no field goal line.
Oh,
go ahead.
Poor Justin Tucker.
Judge, are you team holder? That's all when they changed the holder?
No.
Okay, because a lot of people are saying it's just the holder.
Then why don't we get a new holder?
Well,
if who was the holder? Was Cox the holder? Morgan Cox?
Yeah, he was the holder for years.
Or was he the snapper?
No, he was the holder.
All right, then
now everything at the new punter and holder, it's not so good.
Then I'm calling up Morgan Cox and I'm saying, look, you need to come back out of retirement. You need to hold for me on Sundays.
I thought it was pronounced Cook.
There's two different guys.
Okay.
Is it Cook or Cox? COX.
Yeah.
Is the guy I'm talking about. Whoever the holder was, if Tucker really thinks it's the holder, you are calling that guy up. He doesn't have to show up to practices.
Oh, I thought it was Sam Cook who was the holder.
No, Sam Cook is the punter.
Yeah, I thought he held for field goals. Maybe I'm wrong here.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's the new guy.
Yeah.
Is screwing this all up.
Yeah. No one ever talks about the holder until you start missing a bunch of kicks.
Yeah. How about the fact that maybe Tucker's old? Maybe he lost it.
That's what Emily said. And I was like, he's not even old. Right? Kickers can kick when they're in their upper 30s with no problem. How old is Tucker?
He is 34 years old.
Oh, that's a little older than I thought. But still, and you would think maybe the distance would hurt, but not the accuracy. But kickers kick when they're old.
Vinatieri.
Yeah, he was 43, 44.
I just looked up. He retired at the age of 48.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
So Tucker.
What was that kicker for the Falcons? Like Greg Mertensen or something? He was super old too.
So who did Tucker come out and imply it's the holder?
No. A lot of people on X are showing videos and breaking it down. Your boy Big Town Sports, I think, was talking about too.
All right. Well, if it's the holder, why is the guy not fired? Or someone else out there holding? How can it be the holder that's making Tucker go from the best to the worst?
I'm just saying, Josh. I'm no expert on field goal kicking. It's just some people are saying that.
All right. So we were talking about the fake lines and the stuff added by TV. I'm telling you, I watched this. I kept looking at this Boston Celtics game, and I feel like all those graphics were there in real life. It looked like the floor was a video screen.
Maybe that's what Mike Elias is planning on doing with the left field wall. It comes in and comes out and comes in and comes out, and it can kind of just pop it anywhere you want.
I don't know. Can you hear that?
No.
All right, hold on. I just clicked on some YouTube thing, and it was like going crazy on my computer saying the court design is crazy, but they didn't tell me anything about the court design.
Okay.
Because I don't want a YouTube video.
Hey, Josh, what are your thoughts on the wall being moved back in? They're saying it could move in as little as 8 feet and maybe
9
15 feet apart, and they're also lowering it to 8 feet.
Yeah,
in
9
height.
feet in. Yeah, I think that the worst part is the new Mr. Splash platform.
Oh yeah, his own little special
little
platform. What's happening in between that space between the stands and the new wall?
Orioles? All right, look, we've.
Is there a swimming pool?
I do like the drawings of what is it Perez on like a stand-up paddleboard catching balls.
I haven't seen that. That's funny.
I saw that one. I like that one. The Orioles are really dumb if they do not take that 9 by 16 feet, whatever that giant place is, and make that a fence wall that you can see through, and put picnic tables down there or something for events. And
like it's like one of those see-through walls.
Well, just a normal like wire fence
or
glass, whatever, anything. But you know how the aforementioned
magical see-through wall. Oh yeah,
you know how the Tampa Bay Rays have the picnic area over to the left by the left foul. They've got a picnic area you can reserve.
Yeah,
do something like that back there.
I've seen a lot of minor league parks have something similar.
And they're talking about see-through walls, whatever they have on the other side in the stadium already for the grounds crew.
Right,
the same wall, just put over there. I think it's just a picket fence, not
it's just a mesh fence.
A mesh fence.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you would not instantly make that like a VIP money-making opportunity right there.
Yeah. Well, maybe it doesn't cost money to move this wall back and forth. Is no one concerned that how much money is being wasted on this wall? Is this because it was too deep? Is that we just acknowledged that this was too deep and our right-handed hitters were getting screwed?
And Ryan Mountcastle was pissed.
Ryan Mountcastle, he's only going to be here. Is he going to be here much longer? Kobe Mayo, poor Kobe Mayo. Maybe they're trying to fix him. Maybe he was too intimidated by that big wall, and that's why he struggled last year.
I believe if you look at other stadiums, we have seen stadiums move walls in way more than move walls out. And you see this a lot where suddenly there's a gap between the last seats and the.
But it's weird to have so much change on the wall in such a short amount of time.
Oh yeah. And Mike Elias is saying they overcompensated. Well, I don't know how you overcompensate when you do so many analytics and you see where every ball lands. You knew what you were doing.
Yeah. What he wanted to see, and I remember when he initially did, he said he wanted to see more doubles and triples. I wonder what this, because I've seen stats about home runs taken away. That's kind of interesting. But I wonder about like increase in doubles and triples based on that wall. That's what I'd be curious about. And maybe it wasn't as much as he was hoping. Or maybe he looks at how bad our outfield defense is going to stink if Calliger has to move to left, or if Calliger has to move to center, and we have to roll with Kobe Mayo or someone in left field. It's like, shoot, we better move this wall in.
Right. We don't have Austin Hayes. We don't have 2 center fielders anymore. You think it's
Austin Slater's gone now? No more Ryan McKenna running around out there.
I don't know. I know it's a lot cheaper to move the wall in because you don't have to do anything except build a wall. You don't have to tear out seats. You don't have to reconfigure seats. You're just moving a wall.
Yeah.
And I think we can come up with a good, if they don't use that space properly, we can come up with a good nickname for it because Baltimore is dead. They're tearing it down.
Well, they're.
I have not seen, changes. And I looked when it was first announced. I'm sure by now it's up on the internet. How many more home runs the Orioles would have had next year compared to this year? I know it's still a little further out than it used to be. They're not going
but you understand the wall is moved in for the Orioles, but also for the opposing team. Correct. Are you aware of that?
I am.
Okay,
I am. You know, that's an interesting idea. We love in baseball that everyone has a home field advantage. What if we had the wall move?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bottom of the inning, it's in one position. Top of the inning, it's
just like you have your retractable roofs. You have retractable walls.
Right. Just like at Dallas, where they leave the windows open and let the sun blind the receivers because it's a home field advantage.
Yeah. All right. Hey, in this post-Trump world, anything's possible. Anything goes.
We're not at we're not at a post-Trump world.
Oh yeah, it's current Trump world.
And we're not at a current Trump
world.
world.
Oh, this pre-Trump world. Okay.
We're at a
it's a little bit post. It's a little post and pre.
We're at the we're not at the, I guess we're post 45, pre 47.
Yeah.
Who I like the rumor that they would put Kamala in for the last month or so just to screw up all of Trump's stationery that says 47. So that she becomes 47 for a month, and he's got to rebrand everything 48.
Yeah, that'd be a good move. I'm surprised on you do the Michael Mara show. You guys talk politics a little bit.
A little bit
I
too
don't know
much.
how. I haven't checked your iTunes reviews, but I'm sure there's, because anytime anyone ever does a podcast and says anything politically related, even this conversation right now is we're on thin ice here. People go to the reviews and just blast for talking politics.
Mike and I disagree about politics. There have been multiple messages to Mike saying he should fire me because I don't believe with him politically.
It does not surprise me in the least. People lose their minds.
Yep.
It reminds me of, I saw someone the other day said that like everyone just needs to come to grips with the Ravens aren't winning the Super Bowl. They can't beat the Steelers or the Bills or the Chiefs. So throw in the I'm not to make that connection,
right.
But that is the insane thinking that sports and politics makes people lose their minds.
Are you familiar with Blue Sky?
I know the word. It is another social media platform.
Yeah,
right?
It's another one. Like, we can't be on Twitter because Elon Musk owns Twitter, so let's all run to this.
Yeah.
I suggested that I think it's a bad idea if we have one app for Republicans and one app for Democrats.
Right.
And I got caught out for hate for that.
Yeah, it's wild.
For a simple concept where I think we should be together.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Yankee fan, stay away.
Yeah. Well, even that, you should be fired because you have a different opinion. That we can't have a podcast that has two different political views on it. Someone needs to be fired. That's
exactly.
That the two sides cannot coexist.
Doesn't matter that we have good conversations and that it shows well.
Yeah. And I have news for boys and girls. You guys might not realize it, but you're working with colleagues who have different political beliefs than you. I don't share my political beliefs with you, with all my colleagues, but I know there are colleagues who differ from me in their beliefs, and I don't want them all fired because they feel differently than me.
Right.
Get out of here.
I have a job where we talk about the differences in our beliefs because we think it's good to show that different people have different sides of views, because half the country voted one side, another half voted the other side. That doesn't mean we need two separate countries.
Yeah. Well, you know how I handle it. I don't disagree. I just say, whoever side it is, I say, absolutely. That's outrageous. I agree.
Whatever. You do the complete opposite.
Well, it depends who I'm talking to.
All right.
But I have no problem playing a part.
With me and family, you take the opposite approach.
Yeah, because I'm looking for conflict with you all. With my coworkers, I'm not looking for conflict.
Correct. With your coworkers, you just go along with it. And you have to. You're out of college.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to. That's not true, Josh. That's a misnomer. I'm a private school, and I can think what I want to think. Okay. People think college is a bunch of anyway.
Did you go to the you guys had the big Alabama game this weekend, right?
Yeah. Hey, we have a good football team where we have, I think, 2 losses now with Alabama. So we're 9-2. We're top of our. If we win this week, we win our division, and we go to the. We're gonna go to the playoffs of our little whatever it is, FBS or whatever they call it now, the Division II football.
I was browsing TikTok, and for some reason, when it came up in my algorithm, some Mercer cheerleaders talking about the Alabama game.
Okay.
And that's how I knew you had an Alabama game.
We lost like 50-7 because they're Alabama. We're
right, because Alabama. And I thought
we had 8,000 people over here at this private school.
Thought it was odd you were playing Alabama.
Yeah, it's just a moneymaker. We give them a little tune-up. We go to their place.
For who?
For us. They give us a lot of money for playing them.
Oh, okay. And they like it just to pad their stats.
Yeah, a little tune-up for them. A little break for them in the season. But speaking of things that causes controversy, Josh, Colton Cowser losing out on the Rookie of the Year to Luis Hill. Your thoughts? Should we be outraged by this?
I am surprised that it was Luis Hill. I thought it was going to be Alex, what's his name? The catcher.
Meadow, right? Meadow? No,
No.
not Meadow. What's his name?
Wells.
Wells.
Alex Wells.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the catcher. I'm not surprised that it's a Yankee.
There's some Yankee bias here.
I think if Cowser would have shown up in the postseason, he would have had it on lock.
Yeah. I didn't do any vote analysis, but I wonder if Alex Wells finishing third, if some people voted for him, like Hill and Wells as 1 and 2, if that impacted maybe because it's a point system. You go 1 through 3.
So you're saying they lean Yankees.
Right, they lean Yankees. So, I mean, I thought Cowser should have won it, but also, Josh, if you just look at, and I know a lot of people like to make the comparisons between Hill and Cowser, and Hill had those months where he struggled. But I just look at Cowser, batted 242 this year, 3.1 WAR, which is really good and respectable. Like I have no issue with it.
Cowser had a perfectly fine year.
Yeah,
he's not a Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it wasn't like Gunnar last year.
Right.
Gunnar was a lot better than Cowser was this year.
No, Cowser should be happy he's in the conversation.
Yeah, and Cowser had a really good year, and I think you can make the argument that he was the best this year, the best rookie. But it's not like he had this amazing year where he, is far and away deserved Rookie of the Year. I think this is a good year to build upon, and I hope next year he's even better and can build upon this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I feel good about that. And then the other Orioles news. Talking Orioles here. This is Orioles podcast.
Qualifying offers to Burns and Santander.
Both declined today at 4 p.m. Well, I guess technically they could have picked them up and they did not, so they declined.
What a surprise!
Yeah, I guess
we knew that was going to happen.
All right. Yeah, because I guess they're both. I mean, Burns is obvious. Santander, I guess too. I guess they're all seeking multi-year deals. I was looking at the list of people. I was surprised. I guess he's a good player now. I know Christian Walker's had a couple good seasons down there with the White Sox, but he turned down a qualifying offer. I mean, that's like $20 million or something people are turning down. It's like kind of wild to me.
Yeah. Mike Tyson didn't turn down $20 million.
Josh, I didn't even realize this was the thing until you texted me about it. And then I was at the Hawks game and there was like a whole little booth set up for people to vote on who will win. And then all of a sudden I go on X and everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, the Tyson.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a pretty big deal. And Netflix really screwing up with the stream and kind of made it a bigger deal. Because the stream sucked so bad and panicked a bunch of Raven fans because Netflix has the Ravens Christmas Day game.
Yeah, I saw a couple of funny posts about people posting like this is going to be the Ravens on Netflix, and it was like Lamar Jackson doing a great move, running for a touchdown, and then the circle.
Yeah,
like nothing.
Exactly. Or I saw like clips of Tecmo's Super Bowl.
Yeah,
here's how clear the picture is going to be. But
hey, I'm just happy I'll be able to watch the game. It's difficult over here, Josh, figuring out the whole game thing.
Well, yeah, we got to figure that out for you. I don't know why my shady site is working for me and Dad and no longer working for you.
Yeah, I know. And then if you don't use a shady site, they really do make it tricky to watch football.
They make it impossible. They do a really good job locking it down to make you pay for the NFL ticket.
Yeah, it's really because even you can watch it with CBS if you get the CBS app.
Only if you're in Baltimore.
Well, if it's the local game, whatever
But was it the local game for you? It's
the
local game for me.
It was Pittsburgh and Ravens. Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. See, it wasn't for me.
Oh, it wasn't really?
It was Jags. Jags were the local game.
Oh, because you're the Jags.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Fox you can't. Fox doesn't let you stream.
Right, because you need. Well, maybe on the Fox Sports app.
I got family coming over for Thanksgiving, Josh. What am I gonna do for Thanksgiving?
Well, don't you have? You got to get like a TV antenna, or we work out this shady site,
right.
Or your family coming over and we'll have logins, and then they just stay logged in,
yeah,
as they leave.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna come see you the weekend after, like Friday, Saturday after Thanksgiving. So if your
Okay.
shady site's not working by then, I'll help you out. We'll figure it out.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. But
Yeah.
all right. So you didn't watch Tyson. He made $20 million to get knocked out. So the other Orioles news is the Rule 5 is coming up.
I would get knocked out for $2,000. I would. You could knock me out if you gave me $2,000.
$2,000?
2,000. I would do it.
I'm almost willing to pay for that.
Now I want to do it. I saw like full buttocks. I want to do that for 2,000 with Mike Tyson.
Oh, I'll do that for $50.
No, you got to do more than that. But I can knock out 2,000.
That was the best part of this whole fight because they totally set it up with a real interview, and you know nothing, and then he just turns and walks away on his pantsless. It's like Tyson learned that from one of the movies he was doing as like in all these little comedies over the past 20 years.
Yeah, it seems like also, Josh, Vegas is onto something here because Vegas, and I mean all the bookies, made $1 bazillion off this fight because everyone bet on Tyson.
I bet on Tyson.
Okay.
So here's what they did. I'll tell you, I was in Vegas the week before this fight.
Yeah.
Everywhere was billboards for this fight.
Oh, really?
And all over these billboards, Tyson looks good. So you are all convinced, and it's all set up as Tyson versus the YouTuber.
Yeah, YouTube versus the greatest boxer ever to live. Yeah. Who you got?
You buy into that. Of course Tyson's going to knock him out. I don't care how old Tyson is. He's the greatest.
And then you're giving 2-1 odds? Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. And then I log into the Hard Rock app and see that Jake Paul's the favorite. Yes, I'm betting on Tyson.
Yeah, you and everyone in America. I mean, I think 80% of people voted for Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
but that's what you got to do. The Vegas should do more things like this. Take guys who were amazing and great in their prime in their sport, and put them against someone in their 20s, and everyone will vote for nostalgic's sake for the guy they remember, for forgetting how it feels to be a 58-year-old man trying to compete against a young guy.
Now, Matt, you should be concerned about Netflix's struggles to stream, because in January they are then the home for live streaming every Monday night for Monday Night Raw.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Netflix getting it everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Oh, man. Hold on. I got to pause and buy some stock in Netflix.
Oh, no. This is not, well, they might have had a big crash afterwards, but I don't know if this is the time to buy Netflix.
All right.
I think you might be a little late.
I missed that bus.
No.
I missed NVIDIA and now Netflix. I miss them all.
Now watch here. I'll take us right back to the Orioles.
Yeah.
Now the Orioles did buy contracts this week as preparing for the Rule 5 draft. As they
well done.
selected the contracts of Young and pitcher Cade Stroud.
Yes.
Do you know anything about these guys?
I saw Cade Stroud is 27 years old, has an ERA of about 7 in AAA.
Yeah. But he did not allow an earned run for 10 1/3 innings in Bowie.
Okay, but at AAA he gave I got an ERA of 7. No, but I think everything I read about Cade Stroud, he's a bullpen arm who has really good stuff, and like a high of 98. So I think this is like when you protect a bullpen arm, because you know how the Orioles pick up and drop bullpen arms. And so if you take a bullpen arm protected, you must really think highly of them. And so clearly they like Cade Stroud's stuff.
He is averaging 11.4 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Yeah, that's good. But he's also giving him 7 runs per 9 innings.
Yes.
But the strikeout numbers are good.
He did. But he looks really good in Double-A.
Okay. Yeah, but he looked bad in AAA. And you understand that AAA is a higher level than
Double-A. I get it. But that strikeout rate is over 128 games in the minors.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So he has good enough stuff to strike people out. And that's what you want in a bullpen arm.
Exactly. And then I don't even know who Young is.
Oh, Brandon Young. He was rumored last year, I think, to be in discussion about maybe getting a call up. So I think he's good. I mean, he's a starting pitcher, but could move to the bullpen. Played in Bowie and Norfolk last year. I think he has the potential to be kind of a 5th man, 6th man next year.
Right. There's no one there There's no one that we're like worried. Oh, they didn't protect this guy.
Yeah, no, not for me. Now, it's very possible. I mean, we're at the point where the Orioles aren't going to be participating in the Rule
Right.
5
We're
draft.
not going to take anyone.
Yeah, we're not. And it's possible we're also at the stage where some people might take our guys. But
Yeah.
there's no one who was it? Did they not protect
Was it Wells?
no
Was it that pitcher from Australia?
Alex Wells? No. Um
There was someone that it wasn't Tanner Scott. There was someone that we lost a few years ago.
yes, and it hurt. And I remember being mad. It was the reliever too. Why can't I blank on his name? Oh man, it's gonna bother me the whole time. I think he got picked up by Miami, but it wasn't Tanner Scott, who also went to Miami. Shoot, that's gonna bother me for a while.
Let's see. I tried to do a quick Google search, but Google is so filled with stuff on this year's Rule 5 that
Yeah,
it's hard to find from a couple years ago. Because it wouldn't have been last year. It would have been probably 2023, 2.
yeah. I think it was 2022. It might have been 2023. Yeah, 2022. It's fine. So anyway, yeah, there's no one, and I remember at the time, mad that the Orioles didn't protect this guy, but
Was it Alex Pham?
no, that's this year.
No, that's this year.
Yeah, he's the guy that we chose not to protect.
Right. We didn't protect him this year. See, I can't figure it out with Google because it's so flooded with this year's stats.
Yeah, that's all right. Thanks for trying, Josh.
Yeah, we'll see. So no one you're concerned about this year.
No, and like I said, I think our 40 man now that brings our with those signings that brings our 40 man up to 39. So we're too good now. We don't have the room to be losing. I mean, to be picking up players.
Right, because you have to keep them with your big league squad.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. And I'm sorry, this is go back to 2020. So I'm still holding on to this. Zach Pop was the name.
Oh yeah, Zach Pop. See, I was Googling, I was going year by year, and I was only down to 2022.
Yeah, it was 2020 where we lost Zach Pop, and he was a good reliever. I think I think it was the Blue Jays last year. Still is a good reliever, but I felt like left us, went to Miami, and had a really great year. Like, shoot, we missed out. But again, I think for the Orioles especially, relievers are a dime a dozen, and they can. So I think it's more notable that they actually protected a reliever, but protected a starting pitcher and a reliever.
Is that a guy that has a chance this year to make the squad? Or
he has. I think he would have to if you're protecting him.
If you're
like, I think anybody you protect,
40 man.
He's on the 40 man, so you have to think they think he's close to major league ready. Because listen, this is the major leagues kind of Rule 5. So if you're protecting him, it means you're concerned about another team picking him up and taking him right immediately to the majors. And so I don't think you're gonna have a 40-man guy just taking up space all year.
All right.
I think,
so then, when we're starting to project the bullpen of next year, you kind of got to include this guy.
Yeah, like maybe not at the beginning of the season, but certainly he's in the mix, and he's going to get. I would be shocked if Kate Stroud does not get an opportunity in Baltimore next year.
Okay. Other news is that the Chicago White Sox signed Slater this week.
Good for him. Hopefully he'll get some playing time, maybe.
But who's going to guard left field? Cowser.
Yeah, I think you're good with Cowser. I mean, I think we still need. I mean, I think a right-handed hitting outfielder makes sense for us, given Mullins, Kerstead, Cowser are all lefties, and Santander, your switcher could be gone. It makes even more sense to bring in a right-handed hitter, but hopefully someone better. No offense to Austin Slater, but hopefully someone better than him.
All right. now that Austin Slater is signed, now we can get all the big free agents signing, right? This
Yeah.
was the door we were waiting for. The little
Well,
pebble that'll push the boulder over.
Let's get through Friday, because Friday is the date where we have to. That's the non-tender deadline, so we have to let either offer our players who are kind of pre-arbitration to let them know if we want them back or if we don't.
Okay. All right. So who is on that list?
That non-tender list?
That non-tender list.
All right. So, well, I guess these are players, and I mentioned these are players in arbitration who we could choose to bring back and at negotiated new salaries, these arbitration players. And, if you can't agree a deal, it goes to arbitration, whatever. But you have to decide if you're going to offer them initial contract, right? And so guys who are up for it, Jorge Mateo.
Okay. All right. So yes, they will tender him. Or
even coming after a year of missed and just a whack injury involved.
Yeah.
Surgery on the elbow and
because he's that you can play everywhere in the infield, and more importantly, you didn't hurt your legs and you're here for your speed.
Okay. I wonder if under old management, if he's projected to make around $3.5 million, I wonder if that would have been a discussion point, the money. But hopefully now we're beyond.
I think we're beyond that. I think Mateo is here. And Elias even came out and talked about how Mateo should be good to go for spring training.
That's a good sign for Mateo.
Yeah.
Dean Kramer.
Now he didn't say with the Orioles, but I gotta say.
Yeah.
Dean Kramer? Yeah. All right. You're going with the easy ones. All right. Dean Kramer. Yeah, he'll be here.
Tyler Wells.
Oh. He's not supposed to be ready till June, though, right?
Yeah.
But you're gonna send to arbitration because he did nothing last year to earn any more money. So he's gonna be a cheap arbitration.
Yeah, and he'll. I mean, if you non-tender them, right? Like it's not just about next year, but going forward after that. And so he's on a contract for a couple more years. So you want to have Tyler Wells, even if it's for half season this year, because a full season.
So that's another easy one.
And Kyle Bradish is an easy one. Yes. Keegan Aiken, I'm surprised. He's just projected to make $1.2 million. That's pretty cheap.
That sounds like a great deal. All right, so we'll keep Keegan Aiken.
Yeah, like at first I thought I saw Keegan Aiken's name. I was like, because I feel like he's been around forever. But at that price. All right, here's one. I guess he's a lock though. He's making more money. He's projected to make about $6.2 million, and that's Ryan Mountcastle.
See, Ryan Mountcastle is a tricky one because he had a fine year, but it wasn't what we expected from Ryan Mountcastle last year. But I think we're moving the wall forward for Ryan Mountcastle. So I think, yes, you're going to tender Ryan Mountcastle.
All right. What about Gregory Soto?
How much?
Let's see. Gregory Soto, $5.6 million. It's expensive.
That is expensive. I'm guessing. What is? No, I'm going to say we pass on Soto. What do you think with Soto?
Yeah, I mean, he's got good stuff. We traded for him last year, so we clearly like him.
You know, the interesting thing with Soto is that we let Colum go. We let Colum go, and they're kind of similar guys.
Coulom's also a lefty.
Right.
So I don't know. He's a bubble guy for me. Soto's a bubble guy. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Under $5 million, we'll probably keep him. You're right.
Yeah. Cedric Mullins is on here. I assume he's a lock though. 8.7 sounds expensive. 8.7
Cedric Mullins. What type of list are you looking at? Cedric Mullins is no, he's not. Why would Cedric Mullins be a tender guy?
Well, he's under arbitration still. These are guys.
He's still under arbitration?
Yeah.
I don't think Cedric Mullins is under arbitration. I don't believe your stats.
I'm looking at MLB trade rumors, projected arbitration salaries for 2025.
All right. I don't believe you. Cedric,
All right,
you're
all
telling
right.
me Cedric Mullins has not signed a long-term contract yet, or a
No,
contract outside of arbitration?
no. This is his last year too. I think this is his final year. I can look up his contract situation. But I think this might be a Santander situation come this next offseason, where this is kind of a prove it year.
All right, so he's whatever, $8 million. You're gonna
Yeah,
give
he
it to
becomes a
him.
free agent in 2026. So yeah,
All right, you're gonna give it to him. You're keeping him in center field. You got rid of Hayes. I'm just shocked because it seems like Mullins has been there forever.
yeah. No, this is his final year.
So yeah, you're gonna pay him.
All right, Jacob Webb, 1.7 million.
It could go either way.
I mean 1.7 is not expensive. I could
It's
see
really-
him keeping Jacob Webb,
it's
and if you
really
want to part
cheap.
ways later, you can part ways later.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You'll give him it to him and decide what to do.
Trevor Rogers, he traded. He's the guy we got back in
Yeah.
the Miami trade. Was sent to the minors.
Again, I feel like him and Jacob Webb, I feel like the same type of guy. They're fine in the bullpen. They're cheap. So if it's like $2 million, yeah, go ahead and bring them back.
Well, I think they still want to make Trevor Rogers into a starter. So I'm curious to see what they.
Yeah, I think.
But I don't think they would give up on him this easily at 2.8 million.
No, I think they'll give him that money and send it. Even if they need to start him in the minors, that's not bad money.
All right, Emmanuel Rivera is set to make 1.4 million. He, came in as third base. The guy we, in 5 years, will do a game show, and we'll have to guess Emmanuel Rivera's name for being on last year's roster. Are you bringing him back for 1.4 million?
I am not. Go ahead and get that somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. Here's one that's intriguing. Josh, this is the last one. We'll end on this one.
You're going with my boy. I think I know where this is going.
Ramon Arias.
I thought that was the guy.
3.1 million. How are we feeling about Ramon Arias?
All right. So $3 million is not much money. But let's look at playing time. Because we want to get Kobe Mayo up here. So that's an option at third base.
We already said we're keeping Mateo.
We already said we're keeping Mateo. So there's your bench infielder. We got Holiday and Westberg and Gunnar.
Yeah, that's our infield.
And Mountcastle and O'Hearn. So you're running out of infield spots. I think Urias is gone.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you too.
I don't. And he will get a contract with another team.
Yeah,
I just don't think we have room to carry him if we want to carry Mayo, Holiday, and Mateo.
Yeah, I mean, if you see Mayo as majorly ready, I think that's the one you could kind of argue. Well, you have Mateo coming off an injury, so what if he has a setback?
Right.
And
but
Kobe Mayo didn't really show anything last year. Right. So I think you could talk yourself into Ramon Arias if you aren't buying, if you think there's a chance that Mateo has any setbacks or that Mayo might not be the answer immediately.
Right. And you got to look at Holiday's a regular starter, Gunner's a regular starter, Westberg's a regular starter. So now you're looking at bench spots. So you got Mateo on the bench. And do you really put up another infielder for that side of the infield? Because then you have it, once you add O'Hearn, that's two infielders on your bench. Well, three. If you're saying your bench is now Mayo, Mateo, and O'Hearn, that's three infielders on your bench.
All right, if I can switch it around though, Josh, when Westberg wants to take a break at third, or when you want to put Westberg at second to give a break to Holiday, who is your backup third baseman?
Kobe Mayo is your backup third
You feel okay defensive about Kobe Mayo to run him on a third?
If Kobe Mayo is going to get on this field, I think third base is your best option for Kobe Mayo. Where would you put Kobe Mayo?
First.
Then why do you have Ryan O'Hearn?
What, right, because Ryan O'Hearn's a lefty. Why do you have Ryan Mountcastle? I think that's a really
right.
Yeah, and maybe a DH situation for Mountcastle or Mayo.
No, and you're
Um,
bringing that wall in, so you're perfectly fine with Mountcastle and Mayo in the lineup together. So Mayo's your third baseman.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Or your
curious to see
backup third
like
baseman,
maybe
DH.
Mayo only plays against lefties and he plays
Yeah,
mostly
and
DH against
and he
lefties.
mostly DHs. I think, yeah. Either way, I think Mayo gets on that bench, and I think because of that, Urias is the odd man out. Because if you have Urias on this team, then Mayo is starting in AAA, and you've got months of how do we get Mayo up here?
But wouldn't you rather have Mayo in AAA than sitting on the bench and just waiting to play against the occasional lefty?
Not if I think he's ready. Because he's not going to be, I don't want him sitting on the bench. I want him DHing. I want him for the bat.
Yeah.
Because I brought
Okay.
the wall in for Mountcastle and Mayo. So I want them both in the lineup.
All right. Well, we'll find out on Friday who and the other thing is too. I think that's interesting here too. Is
I mean, think about it. One of the rumors for the Orioles are what do we need this offseason? A power right-handed hitter. Ideally, that's Mayo.
Yeah. Maybe you can look at putting Mayo in a corner outfield spot.
You could. I'm just not ready to pull Cowser out.
No, I'm saying, what about right field?
That's what I was going to say.
Do a
And
platoon situation
maybe,
with Kerstead or something.
Maybe you can platoon with Kerstead. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. So those are the big decisions.
All right. So Ramon Urias, I probably shouldn't buy that jersey this offseason.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And yeah, and the other thing, if we assume the Orioles will be active in free agency.
Yes, they better.
You got some insider information, Josh, saying the Orioles will definitely sign Roki Sasaki.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They've got the second most international besides the Dodgers. And the Dodgers, if there's anything I know about the Dodgers, they do not like to sign foreign prospects.
Yeah, and why would Sasaki want to sign with the Dodgers? What reasons could there be for Sasaki to sign with the Dodgers?
Why would you want to be there when they've already got Ohtani?
Yeah.
And I know.
Not to mention a World Series.
Right, exactly. And you got your World Series already. And I know he's who's over on who's San Diego got? San Diego's got a guy he's real close to too.
Yu Darvish?
Yu Darvish, yeah. But why would you want to be with Yu Darvish? He clearly wants to be with the Baltimore Orioles. He clearly wants to come to Camden Yards. In fact, I have it in good authority that he is the one that requested Michael Elias bring that wall in because he thought it would be too easy to pitch in Camden Yards.
I've heard Juan Soto meeting with a lot of teams, and I haven't heard them mention the Orioles meeting the Orioles.
No.
But Michael Elias runs a tight ship, so maybe it just hasn't been.
Well,
that info hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, clearly you've missed out on those rumors.
Yeah.
If I get on over to ChatGPT, I'm sure it can tell me a rumor about any baseball player coming to the Orioles. I would like to.
Yeah, well, ChatGPT is a little bit of a yes man. So if you phrase in the right way, you can get him to really confess to anything.
Remember last year or the year before where was it Sports Illustrated was using
ChatGPT to write all the articles.
ChatGPT to write their articles, and if you would just search Ohtani and Orioles or Ohtani and Marlins, it didn't matter what team you put in there, it would write an article about how Ohtani has a good chance to come to your team.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
And you'll find some people saying Roki Sasaki is possible. So, but when you non-tender guys, I think the Orioles will need. Presumably, they'll be active in free agency and they'll sign some guys.
Yes.
And we're at 39 men now, and so presumably that won't stay at 39. And so the non-tender also will be a chance to make a little room.
So
you can do some stuff.
That's 39 without. Does that include Burns and Santander?
Yes. No, it doesn't include them. They're off.
They're off. Okay.
Yeah.
So some people are going.
But it also includes people who are injured because they had to take all the injured people off.
Right.
So I don't know at what point you can put them back on. That's the question I don't know.
Right.
But at some point, after the World Series, you take all the injured guys, you put them back in your 40-man.
Yeah. And then you take them off. You put them back on the injured list as you go into spring training. So, yeah, they'll do some manipulation.
All
right. So we got Thanksgiving next week. Then we've got the winter meetings. Then we got Christmas where nothing gets done. When do you think the Orioles sign a starting pitcher? Mid-January?
Yeah, I think January. I mean, I'm curious to see if anything. It seems like the winter meetings have become really lame, right? They used to be exciting. Rumors. I don't know. Maybe we can hope for some exciting winter meetings. I don't know. I'm saying that. I'm saying during the winter meetings, we'll announce something.
I hope so. Last year, the Orioles signed Corbin Burns or made that trade for Corbin Burns
Yeah,
on February 1st.
yeah, it sounds about
I
right.
really hope it doesn't take that long.
Yeah, it sounds about right. It's all right. In the meantime, we got Justin Tucker and the Ravens.
Speaking of trades.
Yeah. All right, ready to get out of here?
All
Go to
right.
bed.
Yep, let's do it.
All right, boys and girls, thanks for listening. We always appreciate our listeners, especially in the off season. True Birdland, true coconuts. Listen to Section 336 in the off season. Show your appreciation by going over to Apple Podcasts and writing us a review or wherever you listen. You can follow us on all your social media platforms. You can also follow us on X and maybe Josh on Blue Sky. I don't know. You can follow me on X at Section 336. And you can follow Josh on X and Blue Sky
at Josh Soroka. And check out the podcasterswarehouse.com so I can help you build your podcast.
All right. Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's and go Ravens.